reporting using advanced reporting. In this module, we will learn how you can create more complex and advanced reports. In advanced reporting, we will create an advanced report based on multiple contexts. That is to say, by adding multiple queries to an outline of a template with static content, and then save that content to Word using a DOTX file. We'll also talk about creating static queries and creating templates. The advanced reporting is under the Reporting Hub, which is under the Work Hub. So under the Work Hub, the bottom sub-hub reporting is used for advanced reporting. Before we talk about advanced reporting, let me remind you of a key capability that advanced reporting builds on, and that is smart reporting. For example, here is a feature set. And based on these features, I can call smart report using the smart report template. So here's the default form template. I'll run this, and here's sort of the result of that particular smart report. Let's say I wanted this report put together with this user story report. And in the user story report, we will use the training 2 template that I created in the earlier, in the other session on smart reports. And in this report, we are grouping by value area. So you can see the business value area has these user stories in it, and architectural has these. And this one is using a table format with 4 columns. The first is just the number, work item ID, title, and state. Now, in both of these reports that we just saw, there were 2 different views. You couldn't put it together. It could not, you have to select a query and then run the smart report, or you can do it from your backlog. But if you wanted the result of these 2 queries and these 2 different smart reports in one, along with static content, that's where you would use advanced reports. So let's take a look at advanced report. I've created this smart report in which there is, actually, let's look at the editor view first. There's some static content. All of this is static content. There's a visual in there. And then towards the bottom, I have a heading called project feature, perhaps features. And then I've inserted a smart report in it, or what we also call smart parts. So I've inserted this smart part where I'm telling it which smart report template to use. This is the form style. Use the features query and the default CSS. And then for the project user story, perhaps I should call it user stories, I'm inserting the training 2 reporting template. And I'll show you how to do this later on. How do you insert these sections? And this is my query, and that's the default CSS. So really, it's really all of this is static content. And then just these things in the curly brackets are references to work items that you insert using this insert smart part option. Again, we'll look at it later on. So let's save this, go to the reporting tab, and we will see the results. In the result here, you can see again the same static content. However, right after project features, we start to see our features being listed. And then we see the project user stories heading, followed by the result of the second query using the second smart part template. Okay. So as a user, all you have to do is just click on this and the report gets rendered, click on refresh, and the report gets refreshed. Okay. And then you can go ahead and save this as PDF, or you can generate a Word document from it. If you generate a Word document from it, it would ask you for a template. You can upload your own templates using choose file, or select a template that's already either been uploaded or the default template, and it will generate a Word document for you. In the Word document, it will apply the information in the report to whatever content is in your template. So for example, in this template, I had a heading, and then I had some headers or footers set up. You may also have perhaps a table of content. So you can always insert a table of content in it and get the result of that. And here's your output in Word. Okay. So you can save it as a Word template file, or you can save it as a PDF, a Word file, or you can export it to PDF. Now, the key thing to note here is how you designed it. So static content with 2 smart parts in it. Right. Now, let's go ahead and create another report. In creating another report, I'll call this SRS, as in Software Requirement Specification, or whatever the name of the document is. You can either start from blank or select an existing template and build on it. We'll start with a blank document. So we do that. Here we go and add, let's call it the Software Requirements Specification, and we'll make it heading 1, and then we'll go and give in some information. So whatever static content you want to do here, so let's call it static content. And static content just means that it's not coming from a work item. And then we go and we can say, let's say we'll do the same thing as before. We'll say features here. We'll put heading 2 there. And now we want to insert a query. To insert a query, you basically go insert smart part. And there are 3 parts to this. The first one is, what smart part report template do you want to use for this section? So we'll use the default one. You can certainly select any other that you want to choose from the existing templates. By the way, you can always design your own template going to the report designer and creating new smart part templates. And then we'll choose a query. So here is the features query that I'll choose. We'll use the default CSS, and that's fine. There's a checkbox here called by value. If you check this, what it will do is that it will take the query and embed it into the document. Okay, and in hiding that or embedding that in the document would mean that if you save this as a template later on, it can be reused. So I'll check this. So that's a good idea. So I can apply this to any document I want. And then I'll do user stories and mark that as heading 2. And I'll insert a different one here. So as I type, it will give me a shorter list. So I'll choose training 2 template. Oh, by the way, when you're inserting, instead of inserting a query, you can also insert a baseline or a review, and it will bring its content into the advanced report as well. Let's go and select the user stories query. Again, we'll do it by value. And you'll see it tells you by value, user stories by value. That means it will embed that query in this document. We'll go save it. Okay. And if you click on report, voila. So here's your heading, some static content. This is the result of the first query. This is a static content, and that's the result of the second query, based on the smart part template or smart part template that we had selected. Okay. So if I wanted to add some information after feature, then I could go here, I could say ABC or whatever that information might be, and we will we'll add that content. I've copied and pasted that there. Save it, run it. You can see that static content is just there. It's just static content. But this is where the work item information is coming from. So to use advanced reporting effectively, you should learn how to work with smart reports. And part of the smart report training shows you how to use the smart report designer or the smart report designer. Okay, so if you haven't seen that module, see that first. You'll see how wonderfully powerful this particular designer is, and then you can create those smart reports and embed them with queries in your advanced report along with static content. So that gives you the advanced report. Now, when you're adding static content, you can format it using your various tools, add images and tables and so on as well. So if I were to add a table here, we'll call this in scope. I'll go ahead and add a table there. Just drag this thing there. And maybe we'll mark this as heading 1. And then we can just go with A, B. And so on and so forth. And in the result, you see just that show up there. So that's all static content, just this is dynamic content. In the designer, in the editor view, one of the things you can do is you can actually save this as a template. If you save this as a template, I could call it my SRS template. And what that will allow us to do is the next time we want to create a report, I can go to my template folder and take that and call it, let's call it SRS2. Oops, wrong button. Let's call this SRS2 and click OK. And so the same report got instantiated here. In fact, if that query got deleted, it would not matter because this query is now embedded in the report. And then you can run the report and see the output. Okay. So once you create a template, you can use it across projects. So you can create the template once and then recycle it. The important thing to note to reuse templates across project is that if you're embedding queries through smart parts, then let the query make sure that the query does not have project-specific properties in the query. So if you have an area path or iteration path set, then it's looking for a given project. So that query is not portable to other projects. So just keep that in mind. Otherwise, they should work brilliantly. And the last point I want to make here quickly is the discovery option. So if you click on Discover, it'll show you your menu options that you have available directly in under Discovery. And in Discovery, for example, if you want to see how to create report, you click on this, and here are the steps you have to follow to create the report. Or you can click on Help and go to Help, or under Home, you can click on get more information on the BA Bog Guide or other resources that you have. All right. So there's good help available directly under the Discover option directly here. In advanced reporting, we saw how to use a report, how to create a report, how to save it as a template so it can be used again. And we also saw how to use a static query within the report so that that report can be reused with that embedded query in another project, even if that query does not exist in the other project. Advanced reporting is fast, efficient, and user-friendly. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.